Hey guys, this is E with Scrapbooking with me, and I am going to show you how to make this card today. How to make your own template where you can save it and then make these over and over again. They're not that complicated. This is for Margaret Hedges, and she asked could we show how to show some ideas on some Christmas card making. So I think this is a super cute card. It's easy, fun, but yet you could reproduce this and make tons of them to send to everyone in your family. Alright, the first thing that you're going to need is you're going to need to make you a template, and I'm going to show you how to make this. Very, very easy. You're going to take a piece of paper that is 4 1/4 inches wide. Doesn't matter how tall it is right now, we just need 4 1/4 inches, so that's how wide that is. You're going to measure up from the bottom 1 1/4 inch. Now if you have a Tim Holtz ruler, this makes it really, really easy to measure up from the bottom, because this ruler is exactly 1 1/2 inches wide. So if you just use this line right here on the bottom of your card or bottom of this paper, then mark your line right there. That's exactly 1 1/4 inches. Just like that. I don't know how I ever got by without this ruler. Okay, then you're going to mark from this line, you're going to go up again, and I believe, let me look at my notes to make sure. Yes, you're going to go up another 1 1/4 inches from that line that you just made, and you're going to make another one. Then you're going to turn it, and you're going to come in 3/8 of an inch from each side. So I've got my ruler on 3/8 of an inch, and I'm just going to draw me a line up. Excuse me. And I'm going to put it on 3/8. Draw me a line up. Okay. So there's the beginning of your template. Now on this line right here, the top line that you drew, you want to find the center of that line, which is 2 1/8. So again, if you've got the Tim Holtz ruler, put the 0 there, and then find 2 1/8 on both sides, and you've got the center. Now you want to take your ruler, and from that dot, that center point there, to right here, you want to draw a line. And then you want to do the same the other way. Okay, so there is your triangle, but we still got to get this little piece right here that we cut out. Then you're going to line your ruler up on this line that you just drew on 1/4 of an inch, and you're going to draw another line. And you're going to do the same on this side. Whoops, guess it'd help if I turn it the right way. 1/4 of an inch, and then draw a line. Alright, so there is your template. Now it's just a matter of cutting it out. Now I'll tell you what I do to make sure that I cut this straight. I fold this in the center. I go by my little dot right there. I just fold it over in the center. Okay. Then all I do is I take my scissors. Now you could leave it open if you wanted to and cut around this with your X-Acto knife. That's up to you. I do better with scissors, so I'm gonna start on that top line that I drew. I'm gonna go right down to the 3/8 of an inch line that comes up through there. I'm sorry, you can cut that all the way off, just like that. Then you're going to cut the second line just down to that 3/8 of an inch line. Don't go any further. And then across the bottom at that first 1/4 inch line that you just made. And there's your template. Okay, once your template is made, what you want to do is that line that is already across right there where you made that line in the beginning, you're going to leave that line because that's going to be your first cut. And then you want to start, let me remove these marks. Alright, then you want to place your ruler on that mark, and from there down every 1/4 of an inch you want to make a little tick mark like that. Okay, just ignore these that I erased up here, those were not right. Okay, then I fold it to the middle and I just place my pencil on those marks and I hold it down while I slide my pencil out, and that gives me the marks on both sides, just like that. Okay, and you're going to need these to know where to stop cutting. I know this is clear as mud right now, but it'll all come clear when we start cutting. And I will have a photo and the measurements and everything of this on my blog, and my blog link will be right up here. Okay, so let's start. You're going to put your template right down at the bottom, even it and make sure it's even all the way around, and then you're going to draw your box on the inside, and you're drawing on the back of your paper. Just draw very lightly and you will not see it. And then you're going to go to the top of this and you're going to draw down to this first mark right here that you made. And let me zoom in so that you can hopefully see. Let me see if I can get myself in frame. See this little mark right here? I usually just, let me get that back straight again. I usually put my pencil there and hold that down and then just draw up to the point. That way I don't get confused as to where to stop. Okay, so that is your first cut right there. Let's see if you can see that. Yeah, there's your, this is your first cut with the triangle. That's your second cut there. And then all you're going to do from there is you're just going to lay this template down to where the pencil lines that you just made are right on this. Hold it down, and now we're going to go to that second mark right there, and you're going to go up, and then the second tick mark. Oops. And it helps if I can draw straight, just like that. Oops, sorry, I know it's glaring there. You see how they're starting to taper? This one's a little longer, that one's a little shorter, and then that one's a little shorter, and it's going to continue to go up that way. So again, lay your make sure your template is even from here to here, side to side. Lay it down on that last mark that you just drew. Line this up with that mark. And now we're going up to the third mark, our third little tick mark. Just like that. Again, move it up, put it, center it up, and then we're going up to the fourth one. Just like that, and just like that. Move it up, line it up, and then we're going to go to the fifth one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to go right there, up, and then you're going to line it up again. This So with the sixth one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right there, and 6 right there, and then your very last one, make sure that it's lined up well, whoops, and then that one right there, the last one that you drew, that little triangle that's at the top. Okay, so that, let me see if I can get this in focus where you can see, there we go. That is what it's going to look like all the way down. Okay, you made a little Christmas tree with half triangles, and see, that template made it very, very easy. And now all you're going to do, and let me peel my mat back before I end up cutting into it. You're going to take, you can take your X-Acto knife, your trimmer, whatever, and you're going to start at the top, and you're just going to cut down that line. Just like that. Use your ruler if you're afraid that you're not going to get it straight. I sometimes do and sometimes I don't. It just depends. So I'm going to cut down all one side, and then I'll go to the next one. Okay, let's go to this side. Now on this very bottom triangle, you're going to cut that out completely. Okay, so you don't need that. Now what you're going to do is take your ruler, and where that line stops, right there, you're going to put your ruler at the end of that and at the end over here. And you're going to just score that. This will just make it fold. Okay, then you'll move up to the next one, and you're going to come just to that cut line. Don't go across that cut line. Let me show you what we're doing. Okay, we are, see if you can see it. There we go. We're scoring from where I stopped cutting here over to that other score line right there, or that other cut line. We're just scoring across there. That's so that we can fold these over. You can put this in your scoreboard if you want, if you feel more comfortable doing that. Alright, go up to the next one where you stopped cutting. And just put your little line there. Sometimes it's easier to see these on some of them than it is the others. But as long as you remember not to go over that, the little flap below it, you're good. Okay, and then on the very top one, you're going to go all the way across because it shouldn't interfere with the one below it. Okay, you see what I did on that top one? It came right at the top of that point, so we go all the way across with that top one. And now you just start folding these over. Now you can erase those pencil marks if you want. They're not going to show because they're going to be underneath, but you can erase them if you want to, if you feel more comfortable doing that. This card is so pretty, and you know me, I don't like just plain Jane cards. It's got to be a little bit unusual. And now I just take my bone folder and very gently, because you don't want to tear any of this, I go over those folds. So there is the beginning of your tree. Isn't that beautiful? Now what we're going to do is go around the edges of this with my Spectrum. Oh, this is not Spectrum. I got Spectrum on my mind. New markers just come out from Spectrum. This is a Copic marker, and this is in B28 Royal Blue, and I'm just going to go around the edges of this, putting that royal blue color on the edge here. This doesn't have a white core, this paper doesn't, but to me it just finishes it off. I just like that little bit of ink on the edges, and I really don't want to ink it. I don't want to distress it. So we're just going to use this. Remember to always go in from the back side, just in case you slip. Then you'll have your mistake on the back side of the paper and not the front. Alright, so there we go. We'll let that dry just a second. And now I'm using a card base. Oh, I forgot to tell you how big this was, didn't I? I guess I need to give you measurements. This is going to be a bigger card than normal, but it'll still fit. This is 4 1/4, but it is by 6 inches. So it's 4 1/4 by 6, okay? Because that gives you the length of your tree. All right, then you're gonna the matte pack, the cardstock that I have that this goes on is 5 inches by 6 1/2, or this is the card base that I have. Alright, what I want behind my tree is this silver. I think that will be beautiful. So I cut this piece 4 1/2 by 6 1/4. And I will have these measurements on my blog. Again, the link will be right up here in case you forget. Don't have to stop and write all of them down. That's going to give us just a little bit outside that, and that's what we want. Now on this one I did the background here and this matte completely different colors. You can do it like that if you want. I just wanted to do this one in silver, but I put red on the background here, and I just cut a little piece of paper that would cover that, and then this matte is black. So it's up to you, whichever. You can, you know, change this card up any way that you want. Alright, first we're going to put this down and just center this up and put that down. Now this is some of our glitter paper that it does not shed. This paper, there's no glitter that comes off of it. It's very easy to cut. It's easy to die cut. I love this stuff. Alright, and then this one is going to go right there on the top. Alright, I'm going to pop this up. I started not to, and then I thought, no, I'm going to have to pop it up. I've got to have a little bit of dimension. So I'm going to use my foam tape, and I'm going to put it at the edge, and I'm going to have to trim it. So this is where your Tim Holtz shears come in handy. so they don't stick to this tape. You could use pop dots, that's fine. I'm just going to use this because it'll run all the way and I don't have to worry about trying to take each one of those little covers off of that pop dot. Okay, again, you want to make sure that your card's opening up the correct way, and then you just want to center this up. And I'm leaving a small border, and I'm hoping that's centered up. I am not right over the top. Okay, see how cute that already looks, and we're not even finished. Alright, now what I did is I took a little star. I cut the star out of the same paper as I did here, and this is just an old Creative Memories punch. This star is 3/4 of an inch if you want to just cut you one. And I'm just going to take a little pop dot. I'm going to put behind that, and I'm going to pop him up right up there. Just like that. Okay, I'm going to use some of these little pop dots, and I'm going to put on the back side of these, and then I'm going to press them down. This is giving them a little bit of dimension too. Okay, so there they are. Isn't that cute? It's got some dimension. So we've got dimension here and then some dimension here. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take these little pieces of bling, if I can get them off and get the sticky under them, and we're going to put those right at the tip there. That pretty. So we've got that much done, and now I want to do just a little bit more. We have the stamp set from Frosted. This is a new one by Kaiser Craft, a new collection. Love this Merry Christmas on this banner right here. We're going to use that, and it has some really cute things in here. I love the snowflakes, but we have those in stock if you want one, and I'm going to use my Misty. Going to put this down about where I want it. It's not going to matter because this is just a scrap piece of paper and I just want to cut it out. And I am going to use, I think I'm going to use black ink. Now this is a brand new stamp, so I may have to stamp it a couple of times. I like that. That looks pretty good. Yeah, that'll work. And we're just going to cut this out. That's all we're going to do. And I'm going to leave that little black edge there. See how I left some white edges here and there? So we're just going to take our Copic marker, and this is in black 100. I'm going to go the back side with my marker, and I'm just going to carefully go around the edges with this marker. Making sure that I hold it to the back. So after stamping that and cutting it out, you really don't want to mess it up. If you don't have a Copic, you can use a Sharpie. Just whatever black marker you have in your stash. You don't have to have Copics. Okay, there we go. While that's drying really, really well, because I'm going to let that dry real good before I touch it again, because you know me. This is a Wink of Stella glitter, and this is in blue. And I just feel like this white needs something. I don't know. It may not to you, but to me it does. We're going to go around and just put some blue stitch marks around the edge of this. Okay, now we're going to put our little banner right there, and I'm going to pop this up as well. I'm going to use some little pop dots on this, And it's just gonna sit right there. And there's your card. That is it. Now you can finish off the inside of your card if you want to. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I put a little stamping in there. Sometimes I don't. It's just strictly up to you. You can, but as you see, this will fit perfectly in that envelope right there without any problems at all. I am going in and I let my ink dry completely. Make sure that your ink is dry completely. And I have put some clear Wink of Stella on my little banner here. And then I'm going to put the clear Wink of Stella on these little branches on the tree too. That will just give them more dimension and make them kind of pop up off your page a little bit more without adding a lot more dimension, so that you can still mail this without any extra postage. Okay, so see, that gives it that little bit of glitter. You know, a photo of your family slotted in behind this, and let that be the photo in there. Just use your imagination. Lots of different ways that you can alter this card. Okay guys, that is it. Margaret, I hope that you like this tutorial. I'll have more Christmas cards before Christmas comes up. I do have one from a friend of mine, Mary Nell, that I will be showing you how to do it. She gave me all the information, the dimensions and everything at our crop this past weekend. So I will be doing that one for you soon. But we will talk to you guys later. Please don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe, and check out our store. The link is right here for all the products that we used today. Bye-bye.